Hi, it's Ethany and I have a unboxing video and walkthrough, mini review, tarot exploration, flip through. So many ways to kind of say this, isn't there? Of the Spirit Within Tarot today by the one and only Stephen Bright, who's all the way across the pond in the UK. This is a deck that is published by Red Feather or Schiffer Publishing, and I will be going over and swapping cameras and giving you a good old up close and personal look to the Spirit Within Tarot. So let's jump on over and flip through these gorgeous cards. Hello my tarot lovelies. Now we are going to be going through the Spirit Within Tarot by the one, the only Stephen Bright. I'm going to show you all of the cards in this beautiful deck. So this, as I mentioned before, is printed by Red Feather, which is a part of Schiffer Publishing, and they do a really good job with the packaging. You always get a nice hard box. Be free tarot deck. So yeah, really lovely box here. Little hello. Beautiful. So you know that it's going to be protected. And then there's Stephen. Hey, good looking. And we get a guidebook. I mean, I'm all about purple. Anyone who knows me, who's been following me at all on social media, or who knows me knows that I live for anything purple. So this is the guidebook here. So we're going to have a look at what we got. So Stephen has actually created quite a few decks. And the Breakfast Club, that's so cute. You know, he's created quite a few decks. He's an artist, and I'm really glad to see that one of them is being picked up by a publisher. So we have a preface, and then we jump right into, oh, it's a color guidebook. Color guidebook, y'all. I need to look at the camera because I hope that wasn't on the edge there. And then a Spirit cross spread. So it's a nice little, so it's not, it jumps straight into the working with the deck. So there's not anything about, like, I guess, like Tarot 101 stuff, which is in a lot of guidebooks. I mean, that could be your thing, it could not be your thing, it's really up to you. So then we open this. I love the back. This mandala of purple and black, it's really cool. So it's not gilded, it's a nice size too, it's not too big. It is shiny-ish, but I mean, the cardstock is pretty good. Okay. I love that it's silhouette. I also have the actual silhouette tarot, and I quite like the silhouette vibe of decks, because it allows you to kind of play with what that person you know, looks like. You can project your own image into that. You know, it's like when you read a book and you think, and they cast that character in a movie and you're like, oh, that's not who I would have picked. With silhouette kind of decks, you can sort of place your own features on there. Interesting, the two dogs. You know, whenever I see like hounds and black women, like women who are associated with a darker palette, not talking about skin color, like this is literally a woman who is a color black. I always think of Hecate, so this is interesting that it's got the Empress, but for me it's kind of got a Hecate vibe. The Emperor. As you can see, it's quite modern, and I really like a lot of decks because I like a lot of exploration in my art, and I have lots of different clients. So even that That could be a same-sex couple right there. Chariot, that's really cool. Now, I did notice this from the beginning here. I like how the Fool and Strength can be connected by the cliff. I do have a mark running down my cards though. See that mark there? That's from the laminate. It's not on all the cards though, which is good. The lamination something must have happened with the machine. Beautiful Strength card. It's almost like you can see a face in the rock face as well. Okay, Rorschach test. Oh, I don't know how to say it. Hermit, which is the image that's been used. Wheel. It looks like almost like one of those daffodil thingamajiggers that you blow with all the seeds on it. I like it, I like it. Justice. The Hanged Man. Ooh, I like Death. That's a cool card. Temperance. That's a very, very modern and very cool interpretation of Temperance. The Devil. It's Loki! He could be the devil. That Tom, he could be the devil all over me any day. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. What I find really interesting as I'm looking at these cards, like part of myself really wants to like fill in the blanks, like paint in, like visually in the screen in my mind, I'm like painting in the areas that are dark. So that's could be a very interesting exercise to do with this deck. Okay, now we have the Wand suit. So as we move into the suit of the Wands, you can see, and you probably have noticed from a lot of the major arcana as well, we are looking at a deck that is Rider-Waite-Smith based. The foundation is under the Rider-Waite-Smith umbrella. That's really cool. So it'll be very easy to transfer and add to your knowledge of the cards as you're working with it. Another really cool thing with this deck that would be fun to do is like playing around with the facial expressions, because a lot of them a face on like that facial expression could literally be anything. And because the court cards are aspects of ourselves or people in our lives, it gives us that ability to, like, if you're an intuitive reader or if you're a psychic reader, if you identify with either of those terms, you can be like, you can actually see who that is meant to be in the face, because there is no face there, right? So you turn over the Knight of Wands in a reading and then you automatically see someone, and that could be you, then you know who that person is meant to be in the court, because there's no assigned facial features for you to have to like identify with through the art. So I really like that. That is really very cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing how much that actually happens in readings with this deck. So I just wanted to separate this out, because as we can see, we're getting to the cups and we now have a very clear color palette to the minor arcana. And again, I really like that too, because when you have a reading and you can look at the dominant color or the predominant element very quickly in a reading, just due to the visual aids of the colors in the cards, it can also help you find like how much of something is in a reading or what is not in a reading, you know, major themes and things like that. So with all this space, shapes, negative space, it gives quite a lot for you to be able to move into and work with this deck, which I am digging. Like, I like any deck that really has a clear concept, to be fair. You know, I mean, I've done many unboxing and first impressions videos, and a clear vision, a clear concept for the deck is something that makes it readable and accessible, I feel, and you can see that Stephen has really done that. I really like that it's borderless, so I know quite a few of the decks that have come out from Schiffer and Red Feather have been bordered, so I don't know if Stephen if you had to like fight for that, but I'm glad whoever was working with you didn't make you put borders on this, because I think it would, like, I've seen the one coming up from Poppy Palin and it's got borders on it. I'm like, no, why? But anyway, someone over at Schiffer either doesn't give a shit that most of us don't like borders, or they're not listening. So now over to the swords. That's really cool. Because, like, look at the position of the eye cover. It could be a headband. It could be like bandana, like a ninja. Oh, that's really rad. I mean, obviously the Three Swords is a difficult card, but I like the depiction there of the whole. So now we have this yellowy green chartreuse. I think that's the right word for this sort of color. Olive color for the swords. That's beautiful. Just so, I love that it's so like clear. And I wouldn't call it like a simplistic deck. It's a clear deck. It's got a very specific point of view. Ten of Swords. Love that Queen. And I really like the font and the way that it's mirrored too in the bottom. So now we have the Pentacles, and we have, as you can probably imagine for the Pentacles, green as our main themed colour. That's really cool. Someone left their wallet at home. That's what that reminds me of, when you get to the shop and you get all your stuff and you get to the checkout and you're like, mother. I've done that not so many times, but enough to be like, okay, I am thoroughly embarrassed. I'm gonna have to go home and get it and come back. Oh, I like that sewing. One of my favorite cards ever. Lovers go lawnmower is his mode of transportation. I shall mow the lawn and conquer the things. Alrighty. So let's flip through the deck. I can already tell that the laminate on this is going to make it a little bit sticky. That's okay. We can get some fanning paper powder, or it's a little bit sticky. I'm not going to shuffle too much. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit sticky, so it's not going to fan out at all until I get some fanning powder and work with it a little bit more. So let's see what we've got. The Ace of Pentacles. What a great card. Opportunity, money, new inspiration to do a practical thing. Let's see what we have in the guidebook. The guidebooks, with it being color coded too, you can find the card pretty quickly through that. So the card speaks. I am the one who brings new resources into your life. I am the seed of finance, business, prosperity, and physical health. Everything that manifests in the world begins with me. Oh, I like that. And then we got a little bit about the Ace of Pentacles and then keywords. Physical opportunity, resources, booster health, and bank balance. Cha-ching! So a great card to have pulled from this from this beautiful deck. So I will pop, as always, below the link of where you can get the Spirit Within Tarot by Stephen Bright. And as always, thank you so much for watching.